Have you ever found yourself standing at a crossroads? One path leads to your dream. It's unpredictable, it's not well worn. It's a little scary because you don't know where it's going to go, where it's going to lead, or what's going to happen next. You don't have all the answers. It's the path where you have to kind of figure it out. And then on the other path, it's well worn, it's predictable. You know how to get from point A to point Z, you know what's going to happen next. I've recently found myself at these crossroads. Kind of made me spiral and ask the question, am I self-sabotaging again? But first, my name is Jessica Darling, an artist and creative, and I just wanted to welcome you to my channel. Recently, I was informed that my job is no longer available for me next year. It's nothing personal. It's due to the school district that I work in downsizing. They don't need as many support staffs, they don't need as many teachers. And I'm in that boat where I am a support person for a teacher. I'm very good at my job. They really enjoy having me there. I do a lot of work with kids, especially kids that need a lot of extra support. So the school itself is very appreciative of me. They really want me to continue working at the school if something or when something opens up. In many ways, though, I feel like this is a clear sign for me to move on from this type of work. I've worked with kids for a really long time. I've worked in early childhood development, worked in a school now, and that journey started about 12 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I am good at working with kids. I've learned a lot about working with kids. I've learned a lot about how to help support them grow and flourish. But when I received the papers that my position's no longer available, it felt like maybe this is a clear sign. This door is closing. Maybe it's time for me to step into my full time art career and really pursue this. The only thing that is a little scary is I'm not totally consistently making income as a creative and an artist yet. But for the first time in a long time, I really see the vision. I've been working for a long time on this, probably for about 5 years in the margins of my life. Just when I have spare time, sometimes I take a break, sometimes I am able to work on it full time. I can really see where this business is going to take me and how I'm going to scale it, and I'm really excited about it. So I feel good in the fact that there are things in place for me to make money. I have my Etsy shop. I will have AdSense from YouTube videos. I can go to in-person markets. I could teach and do different creative workshops. I officially have my business license through the city, so that's really nice, so I can file taxes appropriately. But there's always a time when things start to get going that the little voice of doubt jumps in my head and attempts to take the driver's seat. The voice that says, who do you think you are? Why do you think your art is worth anything? Why do you think anyone's going to want to listen to you as a creator? What do you have to offer that's even different? Everyone's already doing it. There's already a lot of talented artists out there that are doing better work than you. Why should you even start? And in moments of vulnerability like this, and when I'm getting praised at work from all of my coworkers saying, "Oh, we don't want you to leave, we want you to stay," it kind of makes me spiral. It makes me start to think, "Oh my gosh, maybe I should just put a pause button on this passion project and go back to school and become a full-time teacher." No, thank you. I always have to remind myself of this. Just because I'm good at something doesn't mean I need or want to do that thing forever and ever and ever. Don't get me wrong, I love working with kids. They're creative, they're passionate, they are just pure positive energy. They want to have fun and more fun and more fun. But I don't want to work for a school district. I don't like working for people that are going to tell me what to do and how to do my job. That's why I love being a support person in a school, because I get to have a lot of fun and I get to do the fun aspects of learning and interacting with the kids and helping with their social emotional development. The only problem is it does not pay very well, which is why I'm doing this here. So here I am again at an emotional crossroads. It's very heart led. It's very easy to sabotage myself and be like, this is not realistic. This is not something that real people make money with. But that's wrong. I can make money doing this. People do it all the time. Could you imagine if someone super famous, like let's just say, for example, the Beatles were like, there's already so many talented people playing music. We would have never heard their music, right? Moral of the story is throughout my time building this business, I have come to points where I start gaining momentum and then I do this spiral and I sabotage. I've become more self aware of this, and that's why I'm going to keep working on my business. But there have been times where I start my creative career, I start my creative process, and then things start to get going, but it also gets a little tough. And that that voice of negativity, that imposter syndrome kicks in. And then I think, oh, you know what? It would just be easier for me to go back to school and get a degree and blah, blah, blah. And then I start school and I get really busy. Or I start gaining momentum in my business. And then instead of actually working on my business that weekend, I think, you know what? I really need to rearrange the entire house and deep clean all of the closets. In the end, self sabotage doesn't always look like quitting. Sometimes it just looks like being busy with the wrong things. Sometimes it just looks like taking a long pause. So it's really important that when we are trying to be hyper, when we get in these modes, or at least for me, when I get in these modes of being hyper productive, I am checking in with myself and asking myself, what are you avoiding doing? There are so many things that I actually truly want, but for whatever reason, there's some sort of block or there's some sort of hurdle I have to go through in order to do that thing. When you're a very creative person, this self sabotage thing can also be very creative. It can look like avoidance with productive tasks because you're like, no, but I was super busy this weekend. I had all those things to do. Or, oh, well, I signed both my kids up for 300 activities and now my schedule is so busy, I don't have time to work on my business. I haven't made a final decision about next year. It's comforting knowing that if I need a job, it's there. But the thing is, with life, it's unpredictable. We never know when things are really going to pop off. And I always think about this. I used to think about this in the negative because of anxiety about how life can change so quickly. But after a lot of time working at my mindset and just changing the way I look at things, I now understand that life can also move quickly in a positive trajectory as well. So I'm really hopeful for this summer and the time I get to really dedicate to my business until next school year. For now, I'm plugging away at my dreams in the pockets of time I have throughout my day. It's a little scary sometimes, but I'm learning to trust that I don't need to see the whole path, just the next step.